very interested in him. And, this is one of those cases, again, Dave, where trying to do right by the player and giving him an opportunity to go somewhere where he's going to have a chance to play and compete and have that opening to, to know that the opportunity is his. Whereas with us, it was a crowded middle and no one, regardless of the outcome, someone was going to be disappointed and unhappy. And we were going to be in a situation where we had a player that should be on the field, but no way to get him there. So I think it worked out for both clubs and for us with respect to the draft. We're looking to continue to build our team. We're in year 2 of our build here, so we're having an eye on the future with respect to the draft capital.
And one more for me, Ed. If my memory fails me, I believe Kobe Williams is a pending free agent, and he had I don't know if he had a sneaky, quiet good year, but he was really good in your secondary. What's the update on negotiations for him possibly?
There's the same with all the free agents, right? We're now heading into the point where we start talking. I think, teams are starting to, or I should say the agents are starting to have an understanding of what the market is and a better understanding of it. That's really what slows a lot of it down is the agents having an understanding of the market and where the market can go, right? And I try not to offer contracts that for the agent, if they don't have enough information or they haven't done their research, it really doesn't make a positive point for us to even put anything on paper until they have the information that they need. And in speaking with his agent specifically, I know over the weekend they have the information, and now, I just want to get through league meetings and then I can get down to business and get started. And I think you'll see a lot more movement happening here in the next 8 to 10 days.
Very good. Thank you both. Good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
Thank you, Dave. We currently have 5 questions lined up, so we will not take any further questions after those 5. Next question is from JC Habit. Please go ahead, JC.
This one's for both of you gentlemen. We sat here about a year ago and we talked about the first CFLPA report card and Edmonton's grades finishing in last place. After a year with you both in the organization, certainly not perfect, but a dramatic improvement in those grades. I wonder, do you guys feel satisfied, or what are your overall feelings with those improvements based on the players' responses?
Well, I mean, if I could be honest with you, we did our own internal survey as well, and ours was, our grades were better than what was publicly noted. So I don't really understand the grading system, to be quite honest with you. But I think it just shows, if there is a level of improvement. I honestly didn't look at to what level, that it went up or down. So, I mean, it was brought to my attention the grades were out. I kind of chuckled and kept moving to stuff that was more important, to be honest with you. But if I'm going to draw positive, yes, if we're moving up, then that's a positive in the right direction. That's what we're trying to do. We have a bar that's far greater than any grading system can place on us. And if I did have one question, I would just like to know how the grades work, because I got to say this publicly, our food was definitely better than a C goddamn minus. We had a chef in there that was cooking every day. So I don't know where C minus came from if that's the case. So I'm going to defend the people that cooked the food and let them know publicly that, our grades internally were much higher, and we're going to stick with that.
I'll just ask, how was that internal polling done for your own responses? What was the formula that you used?
Ours is very simple questions, right? Ours is very, very simple. It's a 5-star system, and that's it. It's not, tabulate. If I'm understanding, when I looked at one of the things, it's supplements, and somebody's talking about, got to pay for food and all this other stuff. There's no free meals in any team. So I don't know where, that grade came from. I would just like to see the grading. That's all. I'd like the union to give us the sheets that show us the questions and how they're graded, so we can at least know. So at least the staff that's doing it, right? Because I'll be honest with you, the people that are involved with the food that have nothing really to do as far as working in the organization, those people have businesses. They have a business outside of public scrutiny. We in football, we can deal with public scrutiny. It's the businesses who are apprehensive about doing it, especially when they don't know how they're being graded, is the concern. So at least we'd like to see how they're graded. How does it work, right? Is it meals? Is it tied to other things? Because I didn't have a C- food meal. Did you?
It was outstanding. Food was outstanding.
Mark, for you, it seemed like the one negative comment that stood out was about the therapy and medical staff. I think the direct quote was terrible rehab planning, and there were some concerns about the level of treatment that players were receiving. Is that a concern for you?
I mean, here's just an overall, we're always just trying to get better, JC. So we look at things, when we finished our season, we did a 3-week postmortem and combed through every detail of our organization. And we knew that there was some challenges in some certain areas. Then before that, we don't rely on the report cards. We handle our business. We're very detailed in what we do. And, we're trying to take steps to remedy any and all concerns.
And last one in that vein, maybe this is best for Ed. It seemed like a frequent complaint was from other teams about the visiting hotel in Edmonton. Is there some gamesmanship there? Can you give us any details?
Hey, and let me tell you something. That deal was done before I got here, and we've made the improvements. We're changing the hotel this year. That was a contractual thing, so don't pin that on us. Okay, we'll put it on the record. We are going back to the Westin this year, so everyone league-wide can smile and feel good about that.
Excellent. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you, JC. Next question's from John Hodge. Please go ahead, John.
If you guys have a full-time chef, do you need a new in-house reporter? Maybe no. Okay. Well,
We have Micah Curie.
Good.
We have
Sorry?
Micah Curie. We have Micah Curie. He's
That's true. That's true.
He's great. He's listening, by the way.
That's awesome. I wanted to ask about Mark Corte, a guy who's got an off-season roster bonus coming up for Ed. Do you anticipate Mark staying on with the team?
Mark is part of our future.
Okay. Curly Gittens Jr., pending free agent, but still obviously a key Canadian starter. Do you anticipate him being back for 26?
I think they're exploring the market. I'm pretty certain they're exploring the market, and I think for us, we're going to explore it as well. Okay.
Last one for me. We know Mark is tied to the Elks through 27. Ed, would you like to disclose the term of your deal as GM of the Elks, or keep that private?
I'll keep it private. At least I know I'm going to work tomorrow. That's good.
Well, enjoy the food. It sounds good.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you. Next question is from Paul Lapalisse. Please go ahead, Paul.
Thanks for the time, guys. Mark, let me ask you this question. Somebody from Alberta, tell me what the off season's been, because obviously the year has progressed, got better and better, and things were progressing for a positive for, I'm sure, all the Elks fans. So talk about, your off season with so much positivity.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hit on it before. I just feel like Lapo, I think we put the foundation in place to take the step. Now we've got to do a ton of work as far as how we want to shape our meetings and, like I said, the messaging throughout this offseason so that we have a great training camp. But whereas last year you're just trying to put everything together and then you're kind of just go. This year all that stuff is done. To give you an example, I didn't even have a projector that worked in my office when I got the job. So we're talking not just football, everything had to get going. And now all that stuff's in place. So now we can take the next step and go deeper into what we're trying to do this offseason. And I think that's exciting because it's just coming from, a more of a calm place, a calm mind. And, you had to go through all those things and you learn lessons in year one. And then every great professional evolves and gets better at the things that they need, that they had challenges with previously. So that's where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to going through those steps this offseason.
Did you guys send a bill to Chris Jones for a projector or anything? Did that disappear out of the building? No.
I don't even want to get into all that stuff.
Yeah.
But,
and then, so it's great. You get your family moved already in and everything. So all those things are much easier year two, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Appreciate the time, guys.
Thank you, Paul. Next question is from Bob. Please go ahead, Bob.
Unmute.
Bob?
Bob, you're muted, brother.
I'm not a lip reader, Bob. You got to unmute.
Oh, there we go. Is that better?
That's
Yeah.
better.
Can you hear me now? I was just gonna say I give you guys an A when it comes to food. Any press box with a mini donut and Popeyes beside it gets an A from me. So don't worry about the food.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Questions rules for both of you gentlemen. First off, roughing the passer. I know the intent is to protect quarterbacks, but you can graze a quarterback's helmet with your fingernail and you're going to get flagged for 15. Has there been any internal discussion in terms of allowing the referees, the officials, to have more discretion in terms of calling that penalty rather than the black and white way we see it right now?
I mean, if you're asking me, honestly, this is what rules is for. Like, I haven't had that conversation. I know during the year stuff like those plays happen and we have our frustrations, Bob. But that's what the rules meeting is for, to have that conversation. I'll leave that with Mark.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. I mean, we'll go through all the situations and watch clips and debate it and go back and forth on it to try to find the best solution. That starts at 2 o'clock, by the way. We're getting into that at 2 o'clock.
But I will say this. But I will say that, remember, like several years, maybe longer than that, the league has made a concerted effort to protect the quarterback, right? And those years when quarterbacks were getting knocked out, the game was suffering. So yeah, I mean, it could have gone the extreme the other direction? Could it be there? I mean, that's for discussion. But the quarterbacks are staying on the field, a lot more, and there are more games played by the starters, and that's what the whole point of changing those rules back, years ago was for, is just to ensure that the quarterbacks were in a position where they're safe. I mean, they're the best players on the field most often not, and they're important, and we want to keep them upright and keep them safe. So trying to scale back on it's a slippery slope, to be quite honest with you.
Next question regarding the rules. To me, the most obvious example of this was the Stevie Scott touchdown in the playoff game between the Owls and the Bombers. He gets stopped. He goes back 2 yards. Like, literally, he is stopped and going back 2 yards, and then he gets pushed into the end zone by the offensive line. Is there any chance that that rule will come under scrutiny? Because honestly, from my perspective, it's just a bad look.
Yeah, I'll just say this to that. I mean, the evolution of this game came from rugby, right? So I mean, that's a rugby that happens. I mean, it's you want every coach in here is coaching their own line to follow the play and get downfield. So I mean, I don't have a problem with that one, but I'm sure all that stuff will bring up. I mean, whatever was in the press release is just the tip of the iceberg of the things that we're going to talk about. We basically got 3 days to hammer through all that stuff.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bob. So we have one last question from Justin Dunk and then one last question from Felix Getty. So Justin, please go ahead.
Ed, you seem to be in a good mood today, so I'll throw kind of a fun one at you. It seems like the CFL fan base calls the communication window the Ed Hervey tampering window. Are you okay with that, or how do you feel about it?
Is that a positive or a negative? And I appreciate you seeing that I am in a good mood. Right? I got a chance to spend last 4 days with my niece and my sister in Las Vegas, and it was a pleasant time. So yes, you caught me in a good time here. I got in late last night, so nothing has thrown me off today.
That'll do it. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's generally a positive in that sense, right? Like obviously there was a situation with Odell Willis, and it's something that's kind of fun and light.
Here's the reality. See, the thing is that, and I'll say it too, the Odell Willis thing was done intentionally. Okay. And we debate about it and we laugh about it, but I'm going to just shoot you straight. During that time, there was the year before, there was some things happening, and I went to the league. The league said we had no proof. I said, I'll give you proof. But it had less to do with the proof. It had more to do with the amount of compensation that we were investing in these players, signing bonuses that they were asking for. I didn't see it as a benefit for someone to ask for 100 grand and you get to talk to them for 30 minutes and you commit to it. And someone said, well, no, you got to wait. You got to, when free agency opens, you should use that time. But they're placed on the clock at that point, right? You know how it is, Justin. All of a sudden, the team tells you got 30 minutes to make a deal and you can't. But we're talking where the compensation has gone over the last 10, 15 years. The reality is that, yeah, if there's an opportunity, I like more time to talk, to be honest with you. You wouldn't, if I was selling you beachfront property in Oklahoma, would you take it because I told you it was great? No, you wouldn't. You'd want to see it. You want to talk to it. You'd want to see it. You want to do all those things. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury to do all of that. But with respect to having a chance to speak to players and have them ask questions, because at the end of the day, they're signing the contract and they have to, go to bed at night and wake up with that decision that they've made. All the other people that are around it have nothing to do with it at that point. And it's not just about the money. It's got to work for both sides, the player and the organization. So yeah, if they call it the Ed Hervey window, I embrace it. I quite enjoy it. And the fact that we have a chance to talk to the players with that window that we did have, it allowed for us to make decisions both for and against moving forward. Whereas years ago, we didn't have that. You were on the clock and you crossed your fingers and hoped that you were getting someone that fits in your organization. So anybody who's against the window, they're against it for the wrong reasons, Justin.
That's what I meant. I thought it was a benefit to everybody involved that you had that
100%.
time.
100%. I agree. I think it should be longer, to be honest with you, because you can't sign a contract during that time. Right, you can't. But if Justin, if you were to ask for, 3 years, $300,000 a year, and you wanted a $200,000 signing bonus, shouldn't I, as a club, have an opportunity to sit down and talk with you and see to that level, right, beforehand? And someone will say, "Well, no, you can wait till free agency." That's unrealistic. It's just it is.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the
Yeah.
candor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. Last questions from Felix Getty. Vas-y, Felix.
Hey guys, can you tell me about the impact Cody Fajardo had on your team in 2025, and how have the discussions with him been since the end of the season last year?
Well, I'll kind of repeat what I said at the end of last year. I mean, it was no secret when Cody took the reins. We looked different on offense. It wasn't just in game, it was in practice, it was in the meetings. His veteran presence really elevated what we were doing on offense. We were executing better. And Cody just, he's an easy guy to get behind because of, how authentic and genuine he is. And I think that he was a good fit at the time when we needed to make the change. So, I mean, I think I personally resonate with him a lot just because I appreciate the way that he plays with the chip on his shoulder and, he's emotionally invested and, I just have nothing but respect for that guy.
And did he immediately want to come back next season at the end, or he had a bit of convincing to do?
Well, that was really with him. I mean, he's at the stage in his life where he needs to make choices either way, and he's got a young family and it's difficult. Everyone from the outside sees these guys as football players, but they're human beings, and his family was not with him. And, those are challenging circumstances. And, he needed to take time and owed the time to his wife to go hammer all that out and just make sure it was the right decision, because you can't play professional football halfway in and halfway out. It doesn't work that way. You got to be completely invested. And so he took the time to do that. And when that was ready, then Ed and him started talking.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Merci, Felix. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Ed. And get well soon, Ed.
Appreciate it.
Next up.